This meeting is being recorded.
Oh, I did.
Okay, welcome to the rest of Team Joy. I just wanted to record this part for the gals who weren't able to hop on our coffee connection. We are going to be meeting every week on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We hope you can join us. Each week, I'm going to be sharing just some little nuggets and tips around our business. And then also, we're going to have a time to celebrate and encourage one another and also troubleshoot and brainstorm. I'm also going to give a challenge each week. And then we're going to have the opportunity to connect the following week to hold one another accountable and chat through how things went. So we hope, even if you're not able to hop on the calls, that you will join us in our challenge. And I'm really excited to get to be able to connect more frequently this summer. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to share with you, someone shared with me a little bit different of wording when we are sharing those booking incentives at the shows. So as you know, if someone partners with you, if someone books a show through a show, she will receive an additional half price item at her future show. And the current hostess will receive a half price item at that show. But someone shared with me that they tweaked the wording a little bit, and I haven't tried it yet, but I really love the way it sounds. So, one thing that we want to make sure we're doing with our hostess coaching, I know sometimes when we have virtual shows, almost all of our communication is maybe via text or messenger. But if you can hop on a call with your hostess, that is really valuable, especially if you have never met her in person. That is just a great opportunity to get to know her, to make that connection, to maybe talk a little bit about why she wanted to partner with Noonday, so you have a better idea of kind of what is she passionate about? Is it the product? Is it the mission? Is it earning the hostess rewards? That will just help you really come alongside of her. So I would encourage you to make sure you're having at least one actual phone call with your hostess. And when you're doing that, one of the things that we really want to do is to highlight the hostess rewards. So some of those are pretty straightforward in terms of the hostess reward chart. You know, you can talk about getting the 10% of the sales in product credit, the half price items at the different sales goals. But we also want to let her know that if anyone from her show is to book a show, that she will receive a half off item. And so the new wording that I hadn't heard before was basically to say to her, hey, I really want to help you maximize your hostess rewards as much as I can. And so I want to go through and let you know how you are going to be able to earn those rewards. And so when you highlight the booking piece, you can say, for every one of your guests that decides to also gather their friends, decides to book a show, you will receive a half price item and you'll be able to gift a half price item to her. So I really love that wording of gifting. I think it just has kind of a more connected feel. And then in the same way, when you are sharing with the guests, hey, anyone who decides to gather their friends and pencil in a date, if you book a show through Pam's event, you will earn a half price item at your future event, and you'll also be gifting a half price item to your friend Pam. So it's something, yeah, Pam, it's something small, but I just think words do matter. And I like kind of the idea of we're gifting those half price items to our friends. So I had not heard that, so I wanted to share that. The other thing when you are having your initial conversation with your hostess is already planting those seeds of inviting her into the Noonday community. So if you didn't hear, we started in April and May. Those hostesses had the opportunity to join digitally for only $19. Now that has continued over into June. The only difference is that her show does have to qualify. So as you're going through her hostess rewards, I would say something like, and another exclusive incentive only for June hostesses is that June hostesses have the opportunity to join the Noonday community for only $19. It's a digital join kit, so it doesn't have any of like the physical products, but you have everything that you need to launch your business. Is that something you've ever considered? And so it's just a real light ask at the very beginning, but it's a great idea. And I'll be honest, I haven't been doing this, but I'm going to start in June. But it's a really great opportunity to have her start thinking about it. And then what's going to happen is if she has any interest, she is going to watch you closer during this event to kind of see, okay, what does it look like? What is Pam doing? What are Daisy and Linda doing? Oh man, that does look fun, or that does seem like something I would want to do. But I think it's nice because I had shared with some of my hostesses at the end of their show, and for the ones that hadn't considered it, it just kind of caught them off guard. So I'm not sure it's a no forever. Most of them, it was just a not now. But I wonder if I'd given them more time to think about it, they would have kind of known. And you could even say, hey, I'm going to check back in at the end of the event, just because it is one of your hostess rewards. And I never want to leave anybody out or something like that. So kind of sharing that at the beginning, but then also, again, with this idea of, I really want to help you maximize all your hostess rewards. We just started something new where if any of your guests decide to join in the fun and join the Noonday community, you actually get $50 in product credit. And there is no cap. As many women as decide to join, you would get $50 each in product credit. So if you think of anyone along the way that you think would be a good fit as a Noonday ambassador, I would love to hear about that. And there are times where I have forgotten to even share that $50 product credit option. And really we're kind of like allowing our hostesses to miss out on those hostess incentives and hostess rewards when we don't tell them about it. So those were the two things I really wanted to share about the hostess coaching. Do you all have any questions about that so far?
Yeah. The the $19 digital join, did I read that we put that in their hostess order?
Yes, thank you. Yep. So it would be in that first column for the non-reward items. And I'll have to look up the exact wording, but if you put in join or kit, it should.
I think hostess. I just type in hostess.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, it will pop up and it's just, it's wild. It's just an additional $19 tacked on their order.
And then if anybody joins from their show, just send them the link from join under their trunk show. Okay.
Yes. Yep, precisely.
If somebody joins from their show, but they don't join, they still get the $50.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So it's similar to if someone books a show through your show, you get the half price item. But if someone joins through your show, you get the $50 product credit. Which if we were going to backdate this, Daisy would get a lot of product credit because people have joined through her shows when she partnered with me. Those stinkers, Daisy, too late. Yes. Okay. Any other questions about that? Okay. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about, and I am going to post some videos on our Team Joy page to kind of give a little more context for those of you who were not at Shine or were not at Camp Cultivate. But we've been talking a lot about your 30-second story. That is just the name of it. I have not met anyone that can do it in 30 seconds. I cannot do it in 30 seconds. But it is essentially kind of your elevator speech about why you love Noonday and how it has impacted your life. And as kind of a lead-in to invite women into
Oh,
the community.
gosh.
So I would love if over the next week, we could all be working on our 30-second stories. And then I have 2 challenges for you. I'm feeling really wild this week. I have 2 challenges for you. The first challenge is to either go live or just record yourself if you'd prefer to kind of edit it a little bit and have a trial run. Either go live or take a video of your 30-second story and then share it on the Team Joy page so that we can all celebrate and encourage one another. That's number 1. And then number 2 is to share your 30-second story and the invitation, which we'll talk about in just a second, and the invitation with one person over the next week. So you're sharing the 30-second story on the page, but then you're also sharing the story and inviting one woman into the Noonday community. Okay. So for any of you that this just sounds really crazy and really scary, I am 100% with you. But what I want to tell you is I have been practicing this a ton over the last 2 or 3 months at the encouragement of home office. And the beautiful thing is it gets so much easier with practice. And it is so much more comfortable the more that I've done it. And so I know I've shared this with a few of you, but my way of inviting women in currently is really, I know Pam has heard this, and I think I've talked to Daisy and Linda about it too, but it is so light and it is so fun. And it has gotten to the place where I don't even really feel nervous about sharing it because it feels like such a light ask. So basically, I'm sharing my story of what I love about Noonday. And then I'm saying, hey, I don't know if you have ever given this opportunity. I don't know if you've ever thought about this opportunity, but I would absolutely love to partner with you. I think we would have so much fun together. And here's my idea. I would love for you to join in on the fun and join as an ambassador. And then what if we did 2 shows together? I would help you every step of the way. We would have an absolute blast. You would earn a lot of free jewelry, some extra spending money, and have the opportunity to purchase Noonday at a huge discount. And if at the end of the 2 shows, you love it and you want to continue, awesome. If at the end of those 2 shows you think, you know what, I would prefer to go back to being a customer, no harm done, no worries at all. But we've at least had a lot of fun. I would absolutely love to work with you. I'd love to have you on my team. What do you think? So the wording is going to look different for everybody. But I think the big things are your tone and your energy and your positivity, sharing what you love about Noonday. And I will include some videos that really go through all the parts of the 30-second story. And then a specific invitation. And depending on how well you know this person, definitely share why you think she would make an amazing ambassador. So I just love your style. I love how you style the pieces, or man, your passion for Noonday's mission is just contagious. Or maybe I just saw how easily you connected with all your guests, and your engagement in our virtual show was just so, yeah, it was so contagious, was so fun. So whatever that might be, to let her know why you think she would make an amazing ambassador, that's a great thing to share as well. Um, Before I go through, and I forgot, anyone who completes the challenge, um, anyone who completes the challenge, we're going to have like a little thread where, well, obviously we'll see your 30-second story, but then when you share, hey, I shared the opportunity with my neighbor, Susie. When you do the two things, then you will be entered to win a giveaway. And I haven't quite decided what that giveaway is yet, but I'm going to let you know, and it's going to be super fun. I will let you know that. So I do recognize for a lot of us, this is really going outside of our comfort zone. And so I want to make this as fun as possible. And I also want to make this as team building and bonding as possible. I just think this is a really neat way for us to cheer each other on and even grow closer as a team, because a lot of us haven't met in person. Okay, so before I go through the 30-second story super quickly, because we're getting close to the end of our time, I will stay on in case anybody has any questions or wants to brainstorm, and I'll stop recording in just a minute. But does anybody have any thoughts or questions about the challenge or anything else? No? Good. I mean, not good. I would have been happy with a question too, but okay, great. We're all on the same page. So the 30-second story, I am going to post a video from Shine. It is pretty long, but you can fast forward to when they really get into kind of the nitty gritty of the 30-second video. And I'll also post an example as well. But essentially, what we're really looking at is you are going to share two aspects of what you love about the following like components of Noonday. So you want to start with, what do you love about the jewelry? We're going to lead with the product. What are two things that you love about the jewelry? Next, what are two things that you love about the community? What have you been encouraged by? What has been a gift to you related to community? The next part is the income. And they'll often say at home office, the best way to talk about the money is to not talk about the money. So essentially, when we're talking about income, we're just talking about the way that we've been able to use it. So whether it's talking about, man, I haven't purchased any of my jewelry for over a year because I, am able to earn it all free from Noonday, or gosh, I've been able to use my income to bless people this way, or to afford extra swim lessons for my kids, or whatever it might be. That's a good way to share about the income. And then the last way is to share about how you are connected to the purpose, what you appreciate about the purpose. And for most of us, that is what we would typically lead with. But what we are learning is that when we lead with the mission and lead with the purpose, that can kind of create a funnel and exclude some women who may not connect to that piece of Noonday first, if that makes sense. So by sharing it at the end, we are highlighting what makes us different, and we are sharing the icing on the cake, which it really is. So it's kind of the closer, is sharing how we are different through the mission. So by sharing those four things, and another thing that's good to add in is if there are specific objections that you can think of that maybe you had at the beginning. So sometimes I might say, and I wasn't sure about becoming an ambassador because I'm not a salesperson, but I've realized that I don't need to be. Like, I just need to have the desire to connect women and to share the story of our artisan business partners. and home office has helped me with the rest, or something like that. Or, I was hesitant to join because I'm really, really busy. But what I found is that my time as an ambassador is really life-giving, and it really, the flexibility of the job has allowed me to do it as much or as little as I want, depending on the season. So sharing those 4 components, mentioning some common objections, and then giving a lighthearted ask, which we talked about before. I would absolutely love to do this with you. I think we would have a blast. What do you think? Okay. Does that make sense? Any thoughts or questions? Okay, I am going to end the recording in just a second. So just a reminder, our challenge for this week is to share the 30-second story on our page so you get lots of love and encouragement from your teammates, and then to have one of those opportunity conversations with someone in your life. If the opportunity conversation feels like, ooh, I'm not totally sure what to say, reach out to me and we will talk through that further. Okay, Team Joy, thank you for watching this.